Welcome back to Scotty's Movies, and today I wanted to talk about October, and obviously it's Halloween season. Uh, now, I'm not the biggest horror movie fan. I like a lot of horror movies. It's just not my go-to genre. I I've seen a lot of stuff of back in the day when I was younger, like your Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. I've seen a few of the Halloweens. I've not seen all of them. Stuff like that. But there's a hell of a lot of films I've not seen either. And I thought what I'll do this month is try and watch a film a day for every day in October. So that's 31 sort of horror movies for the month. And basically that's exactly what I've done. And I just wanted to show you what I've been watching and tell you what I thought of them. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so the first movie I watched this month was a film called Feast. Picked this up in a charity shop at the start of the month for about 20p. Thought I'd give it a whirl. It's basically about a bunch of people in a bar that get stuck in a bar with these sort of creatures trying to get at them. Wasn't the greatest movie. I wasn't a big fan. I thought it'd be better, is what I'll say. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan. I believe there might be a couple of sequels. I think I read somewhere or someone told me. I'm not sure, but I'd probably won't be checking them out. But yeah, so give Feast 5 out of 10. Okay. After Feast, I wanted to do something a bit more light-hearted. So we watched a bit of Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Yeah, can't go wrong with a bit of Scooby-Doo. I used to love the original series back in the day when I was a kid. This one wasn't bad. Yeah, it's you know what you get with Scooby-Doo. It's usual thing really. There's not a lot I can say about it. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't a bad watch. Okay. Next movie I watched was John Carpenter's The Fog. This is one of the ones from obviously years ago that I've not seen. Now, yeah, I have seen the remake. Shocking, I know. For some reason I watched that. I think it was probably because it had guy out of Smallville, and I was watching Smallville at the time, and just wanted to see what it was like. And yeah, it was garbage. But I'd never seen the original, and now I have. And yeah, this was a fantastic film. Really, really enjoyed it. I give it an 8 out of 10. It was, yeah, great film. I just wish I'd seen it sooner, really. And I'd recommend it to everyone. It's a very, very good John Carpenter film. Yeah. Okay, the next film I watched was Carrie. I had this for years on DVD. Never seen it. Wasn't the biggest fan of Carrie. It was okay. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't sort of my favourite. Yeah, it disappointed me a bit really. And I gave that one 6 out of 10. Next one I watched was another movie I've had in my collection for a long time, and that's The Hitcher from, I think it's 1986, 1987, with Rutger Hauer. Now, this was another fantastic film. I wish I'd have seen this sooner. I highly recommend to everyone. I know it's had a remake. I've not seen the remake on this occasion, but I don't think it's probably gonna pale in comparison to this, because this was a great film. And I give The Hitcher 8.5 out of 10. It was the best film I've seen so far this month. Okay, the next one I watched was some Universal horror. This was The Wolfman. From what year is it? I don't know. I think it's about 39, something like that. But 1940 maybe. Um, yeah, it was okay. I'm not big on black and white films, but quite enjoyed it for what it was. It wasn't very long, and I give that one sort of 6 out of 10. It was worth a watch. Obviously, it looks pretty dated now, but yeah, it wasn't bad. Okay, so the seventh movie I saw this month was The Addams Family from 1991. I have seen this before a very long time ago. Watched this on Netflix, don't know the Blu-ray. I don't think I've actually seen the sequel to this. I know that's on Netflix as well. I'll have to check that out. But no, it's a good film. I enjoyed it. It's been a long time since I watched it, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm probably look at picking up the on Blu-ray going forward. But yeah, Addams Family, great cast. You know, Christopher Lloyd, Raul Julia, Christina Ricci, it's Angelica Houston, I think. Yeah, great cast, and obviously it's translates from a TV show from the 60s. And yeah, they did a really good job. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I give that 7 out of 10. Next film I watched was House, from I think it's from about 1985. This was a film that I thought I'd seen before in the 80s. I wasn't sure. I watched it, and yeah, I haven't seen it before, but I did really enjoy it. I've got all the House movies on DVD. I know, thanks to Jim Jam Movies, he picked me up a couple of these. I think he picked me up this one and the last one. I did actually own the other two. But yeah, so I watched this, really enjoyed it. I give it 6.5 out of 10. It was not really scary or anything, but I don't know. It was just fun. It was a fun film, and I do look forward to watching the sequels. Okay. Next film I watched was a bit of comedy. From Mel Brooks with Young Frankenstein. A shame to say I'd never seen this. I'm a big Mel Brooks fan. Love Blazing Saddles. Love Spaceballs. I'd not seen this one, and to be honest, it disappointed me. I don't know what it was. I think Gene Wilder's brilliant, but I can't put my finger on it what it was. Maybe I need to give it another rewatch, but I just couldn't really get into it. It was sort of all right, but not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to probably be a lot better based on his previous films. But I did give it a 6 out of 10. Had a few laughs, but just not as good as I thought it'd be. Okay, next film I watched was from the HMV Premium range, which is Village of the Damned. It's a British film. It's the one with the kids with the scary eyes. Again, not seen this. Although again, being a black and white film, an old film, I did enjoy it. It was pretty good. I would watch it again. I'd look forward to maybe checking out the remake on this. I know it stars Christopher Reeve, Superman himself. But yeah, this one, I give this one 7 out of 10. For an old film, it did surprise me, and I did really enjoy it. Okay. Now, the next movie I watched was actually Scream 2. Now, I've also got the box set here of Scream 1, 2, and 3. I've seen Scream so many times. I thought I'm not going to watch it again. I haven't seen the sequels as much. And I decided I'd watch the sequels this month again. First one I watched was obviously Scream 2. I like Scream 2. It's the best of the sequels. I remember being gutted when Randy was killed off. Thought he was probably the best character. Sorry, spoilers there if no one's seen it. But yeah, Scream 2, I give Scream 2 7 out of 10. And I followed Scream 2 up with Scream 3. I remember at the time thinking, oh, I don't know, it's all right. It kind of went back to the first one a little bit with the reveal of the killers, but I don't think for me it made a whole lot of sense. But it had a few moments in it which were all right. And again, we did get to see Randy again, sort of from on the grave, so to speak, which was pretty cool. But yeah, Scream 3, I give that 6 out of 10. If you're not seen any of the Scream movies, I do recommend you just give them all a watch because they're all pretty good. Okay. Okay, so the 10th movie I watched this month was the Muppets Haunted Mansion. This was on Disney Plus. It was all right. Not as good as previous Muppet movies, but it's worth a watch. It wasn't very long. It was probably about an hour, if that. It's, you know what you're getting with the Muppets. It's pretty standard stuff. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It's worth a watch. I'd give that a 6 out of 10. Next film I watched was The Fly from 1986, David Cronenberg's The Fly with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis. Shame to say I've never seen this. I've not even seen The Fly 2 either. I'll have to check that one out. But yeah, I did enjoy The Fly. I've seen the original from the 50s when I was a kid, but I think it was one of these films, again, not being the biggest horror fan and being a bit of a mad ass, I kind of put it off for years, didn't fancy it, but yeah, it was alright. It wasn't probably as scary or as gory as I thought it'd be, but it was worth a watch. I'm glad I've seen it now. I do want to check out the sequel. I don't know what that's like. Maybe comment down below if you've seen that and if it's worth a watch. But yeah, I give the original Fly 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, quite enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. Okay, next one I watched was the next one in the Scream franchise, which is Scream 4. I did enjoy this actually on this watch. I'd forgotten completely what happened in it or who the killers were. It was like watching it for the first time. I've completely forgotten all about it. So I did really enjoy it in this watch. It is better than Scream 3, I think. Not everyone might agree with that, but yeah, I do think it's better than Scream 3. And I gave it 6.5 out of 10. And I'm looking forward to the new one in 2022. Yeah, hopefully they carry on where this one left off, and it's a good movie. Okay, the next thing I watched was another classic Universal monster film, which was The Mummy with Boris Karloff. Yeah, whereas I thought The Wolfman was alright, I didn't really like this one. Yeah, I think I give it sort of 5 out of 10. I don't know what to say about it really. It just didn't. Just didn't get into it really. But yeah, I know these are classics, but it just wasn't for me really. I couldn't get into that one. The next film I saw was. Okay, so the 17th film I watched this month was Halloween 2018. I don't know why I've not seen this yet. I've been probably putting it off obviously for about 3 years. I decided I wanted to get it watched so I could go and watch the sequel. And yeah, I really enjoyed it actually. Give it 7.5 out of 10. I don't know why I put it off so long. So this is why I'm glad I've done what I've done this month and watched all these films, because probably would have put it off for another 12 months or more. So yeah, it was really good. I know a lot of these Halloween sequels can be a bit naff, but yeah, really enjoyed it. So it set me up nicely for the sequel, which I saw later in the month. Dog Soldiers. Now, I've not seen this film for a long time, but this is a great werewolf movie. Probably the best werewolf movie I've seen. Up there, I'd say, with American Werewolf in London, which I only watched for the first time last year, believe it or not. But yeah, Dog Soldiers about a bunch of army guys in a forest and only by werewolves, basically. Yeah, love this movie. I had such a good time with it because it's been a long time since I've seen it. But yeah, I give this one 9 out of 10. Next movie I saw was Black Sheep, which again picked up recently in a charity shop. I have seen this a long time ago. It's not a bad movie. I think it's from New Zealand, something like that, or Australia. But yeah, it's quite funny, quite gory, and yeah, I give this one 6 out of 10. It's not a bad film. The next one, another one I picked up again in the charity shop, was The Cottage, British film with Andy Serkis and what's the other guy called? I've forgotten his name. Yeah, I can't remember. I know it's got a Spud Gun in it from Bottom and a girl who used to be in Brookside, if anyone remembers that. But yeah, this was good fun. Not seen this for many a year. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. But it was quite a laugh. It was very, very gory as well, which I don't have a problem with gore, but it was just good fun. Okay, next one I watched was The Grudge with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Couldn't get into this one. Yeah, it's. I know it's a remake of a Japanese film, which is probably a lot better. But yeah, I don't know what it was. I couldn't really get into The Grudge. I'd give this one 5 out of 10 as well. Yeah, didn't really like it. Next film I saw was another 80s film, Maniac Cop. This one again I've had for years on DVD. Never watched it. Never watched it as a kid. It was one of them I thought would be pretty scary. And I'm sort of wimped out of watching it. But yeah, it wasn't at all. It was probably quite laughable to watch it now. I believe there's a sequel or two. I think I remember reading the sequel's better. I probably wouldn't mind giving that a go. But yeah, this wasn't the best. I give this 5 out of 10. Next one I watched was one of my all-time favourites, which is Beetlejuice. Obviously, only it's on 4K, so yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah, it's a classic. Michael Keaton. Despite the fact it's only been in the film probably for about half an hour, 40 minutes maybe. In the whole film, he steals the show. Yeah, I've seen this loads and loads of times and love it. Give this 8.5 out of 10. Okay, next one I saw surprised me, which was the remake of Evil Dead. Now, I've seen the original Evil Dead movies, do own them in the collection on DVD. My favourite probably being the last one because it's quite funny. Well, the first one's probably quite funny now, but the last one, Army of Darkness, just cracks me up. I think that's great. But this was obviously going back to the original with a new take on it, and oh my god, this film was gory. I don't have a problem with gore, as I said before, but yeah, this was a lot more sort of gorier and sort of horrifying than I thought it'd be. But no, I really loved it though. It was very good. If anyone is not seeing it for a remake, I was pleasantly surprised, and yeah, I'd check that one out. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Okay. Next one was a film called The Mist. This is another one that I've been after watching for a while. Yeah, it's by obviously a Stephen King book. Well, yeah, I really enjoyed it. The only thing with it, I would say, is the ending. It was probably one of the most depressing endings I've ever seen to a film. But the whole film itself has really surprised me. Really enjoyed it. and I give this one 8 out of 10. Yeah, it's very, very good film. Okay, so the 26th film I saw this month was Halloween Kills. This was in my local Cineworld. Obviously watched the first one early this month, and yeah, I thought I'd got to check out the second one. Yeah, it wasn't as good. Still enjoyed it though. I know it's been getting a lot of hate, but I still enjoyed it. I know it's probably more of a sort of a filler film before the last one, but it did make me want to go and see the next one. In 12 months' time. Whereas before I probably would have put it off a few weeks. I'll probably be there opening night next year, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it now. Yeah, so I'll give that. I think it was. I actually give that 7 out of 10 as well. What did I give the first one? Oh, sorry. Yeah, not quite as good as the first one. I give that 7.5, but yeah, I give the 7 out of 10. Enjoyed it, and we'll see what the Halloween Ends brings. Next film I watched was The Thing from 1982 with Kurt Russell. It's obviously a classic. I have watched this when I was younger, long time ago. But yeah, I've been obviously picked up the Arrow release and I've been wanting to watch it for a while. So yeah, it's a classic. Really enjoyed it. This was actually the 27th film I saw this month, and yeah, there's not a lot to say about The Thing. It's just a sci-fi sort of horror classic, and I give that 8.5 out of 10. Okay. Next one I watched was another remake, which was Dawn of the Dead from, I think it's 2003, 2004, something like that. I've seen the original one. I've seen this one before, and yeah, this is a fantastic remake again, like The Evil Dead. Really, really enjoyed this. Watching this again. I'm going to try and pick up the Blu-ray this and upgrade. Really, really enjoyed it, and I do need to actually get hold of the original as well because I know that's really, really good. But yeah, for a remake, this was fantastic, and this was 8 out of 10. Okay, so the 29th film I saw this month was Till Death, starring Megan Fox. Now, I watched this on Netflix. It wasn't so much horror as more of a thriller. Like your straight to DVD, straight to streaming kind of film. But I actually quite enjoyed it. It's definitely worth a watch. Megan Fox is Megan Fox. She's easy on the eye. And it's definitely worth a watch. Can't really go into too many details of the plot, but yeah, give it a whirl. It's free on Netflix, so yeah, give it a whirl. I'll give that a 6 out of 10. Pleasant surprise, that one. Okay, so the penultimate film I saw this month, and I watched this with my daughter at the cinema, and this was Addams Family 2, a sequel to the 2019 animated movie. Yeah, it was good fun. It's all right. My daughter was laughing a lot. It's one of the better sort of animated films you get. I always find outside of Disney and Pixar in recent years, there's not been loads of really good sort of cartoons. Not that you want to see on repeat viewing, but well, for me anyway. And this was probably one of the better ones. Probably on a par with the first one. And if you've got kiddies, they'll get a kick out of it. It's definitely worth checking out, and I give that one 7 out of 10. And the final film I watched, which is number 31, was The Lost Boys. Now, this is probably my sort of favourite horror movie of all time. It's more like a sort of a horror comedy, but I grew up watching this. I just love it. It's a fantastic cast. Keith Sutherland, Jason Patrick, the two Corries. You've got Bill from Bill and Ted in there, Alex Winter. But yeah, I forgotten how many times I've seen this film, loads and loads and loads of times. But yeah, absolutely love it. And I give it a 9 out of 10. It's great. I'll probably pick up a 4K of this when it comes out. I enjoy it that much. But yeah, that's it really. So I've got 31 movies in. I think I'd seen 11 of them and 20 had not seen, so I'm quite happy with that. Again though, being the not the massive horror movie fan that I'm not the big horror movie fan as such. I'm kind of glad this is over, and I'm happy to watch something else now, because I've literally just been watching horror movies all month, and a bit of horrored out for a while. But there's a few I want to go back to, and there's still plenty on the list I need to see at some point. So maybe next year we can do this again and watch some different films. Well, anyway, if you enjoyed this video, click a like, and give us a sub if you want to see more content like this, and comment down below if you've seen any of these movies and maybe what your favourite horror movie of all time is. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye bye, guys.